You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
In a world filled with cigars, craft beer, comics, movies, and video games,
only two men are brave enough to search out all things nerdy.
It's the Cigar Nerds Podcast!
And welcome to the Cigar Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe.
And I'm your occasional fill-in co-host, Ginger Avenger.
Yep, Bradley got lost in the snow, so he's not here for the first episode of 2025.
We don't hear from him within a week. We probably better go dig him out somewhere or send somebody to dig him out. Send one of those dogs with the big barrels, you know, the whiskey around their neck.
Hells yeah, I want a dog
bourbon.
with a whiskey barrel.
What is it? Is it bourbon? Is it whiskey that you're supposed to send? In the, what is it? St. Bernard?
Yeah.
With the keg?
Yeah, I don't know if, I've never read specifically what they're carrying.
It's some kind of liquor. I'm sure we could look it up. I'll have to look it up later.
It's probably schnapps, because that seems like a German thing.
You think so?
Well, we don't have a lot of, like, mountainous area.
I thought that was like a
snow...
ski rescue type situation. That was what that was for?
Yeah, and there's a whole lot more ski places in,
I guess the Alps and stuff, yeah.
Northern Europe.
That's true.
Than there is here in,
all right, well,
in the States.
Or you could just fireball it, because that's what I'm going to do to stay warm.
Well, this week I'm smoking the Rocky Patel Emerald. Got a nice green band on it, very Loki-like.
Or St. Patrick's Day.
Well, we're a little early for that. We'll smoke something else by then.
Yeah, I'm sure.
This one has an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper over a dual binder of Nicaraguan and Mexican tobaccos, with a filler of predominantly Nicaraguan tobacco with a leaf of Jamastran Valley Honduran tobacco.
Oh, that's very nice. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kill one of these because I'm already cold, but that's pretty normal for me. But it is like 30 degrees outside, so.
Oh, that sounded lovely on the microphone.
Did it?
Yes.
You could hear that?
Yeah, the mic, picked up every bit of that.
Really?
Yes.
I'd be interested to hear what that sounded like in playback. I guess I couldn't hear it because I guess as I was swallowing, I couldn't hear it.
That sound you heard in your head, yeah,
I didn't hear
heard
it
that on the microphone.
I couldn't hear it. Anyway, like I said, something's got to keep me warm out here.
Well, we're starting off the year with asking the question, what if? So yes, we're going to be talking about season 3 of Marvel's animated What If series. And if you need to travel interdimensionally, you should call in the Strike Force, strikeforceenergy.com.
Yes.
Use your promo code Cigar Nerds for
need to
20%
call them
off
in
your
anyway.
order. Comes in tiny little tin pouches that, can be easily smuggled across any galaxy.
Are they tin or are they aluminum? I think they're aluminum. Maybe just, or plastic. Is it plastic? I think it's plastic, actually. I could be wrong. What? Go ahead. You asked me to do this. I want you to remind that. I got a question for you.
What?
How do you feel about the animation style?
Well, that's something for the main segment. This is the intro. So I'll answer that question here in a minute. And with that, we'll be right back with the main show.
Time. Space. Reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a prism of endless possibility, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities, creating alternate worlds from the ones you know. I am the Watcher. I am your guide through these vast new realities. Follow me and ponder the question, what if?
And welcome back to the show.
Yay, show. I can't do it.
Yeah, we don't do that, do we?
I don't care. I was just ad-libbing.
It's like Black Panther says, no, we do not do that here.
We do that here. We do that here a lot. Y'all beat her off down a whatever fucking corridor you like, so.
Well, you know what they say, reality is a prism of...
There is a prism of never-ending realities.
Prism of never-ending realities.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we're talking about season 3.
So, in some reality, this is like my podcast, and you're the guest.
That'd be so nice. Just to have to show up and talk and not, like, have to spend a couple hours editing or...
Well, you'd have to show me
working
how.
all this equipment.
You'd have to show me how. I'm sure I could figure it out. I used to run cameras for football games. That can't be any more complicated than that. Those things weigh 70 pounds, 60, 70 pounds.
And now we just have GoPros.
Exactly.
So anyway, back to the question you tried to ask me before the break.
Yes, dear. How do you feel about the animation style here? Because I'm not a big fan. I don't like the animation. It's weird.
It's depends on the. I've seen like other series where basically each, and I can't remember what it is right offhand, but it was episodic like this, but kind of each episode was done by a different animation studio, so the style kind of changed.
What was that? We watched something like that was done that way. Was it? It wasn't Scarlet Witch and Vision. It was
No, this was animated.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch and Vision was live.
Yeah, but that was shot in a different style each time too.
But yeah, this one, the animation kind of stayed consistent, but
it was weird, right? Maybe it's just me. It was weird to me.
It wasn't quite like anime,
and it wasn't quite like AI, but it was somewhere in between, and it was strange.
I think they're going with trying to give it like a comic book look, so it's not as like, I would say, detailed as most modern animation is, but it's also not kind of soft enough to be like fully cartoony. So it's
and I don't know if you noticed or if it was
weird.
Just me, but like the transitions when they're moving or when they're fighting, there seems to be a lot lost in the movement. You get what I'm saying? When they're doing the movement, there seems to be a lot of space in between first initial movement and like when we were punching somebody, you see the initial pullback and then you see the smash against the face, but the in between was like choppy at best, I guess.
I don't know, just maybe it's weird because we are watching anime. See how I put this. When we're watching something that was a cartoon made live action, it's not as weird. But since we're seeing the reverse of things that we normally... We know what these characters actually look like.
Well, that might be it.
And then seeing them in, like, animated form, it's just, like...
That might be it, yeah.
Kind of, it's that, like, uncanny valley where it's, like, I know this is supposed to look like this person, but it doesn't quite look like that person.
And it's really obvious to me, especially in the movement. When they're standing still, it's not as bad.
It's like not
but in the
detailed
movement,
enough.
It's like with Captain Carter, her hair doesn't move. So it's weird. Her hair never moves. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, her hair never shifts at all. Neither did Storm's, for example. The hair never shifts.
Well, that's part of Storm's power. She's basically a god.
That's true. But Captain Carter's not, and her hair didn't shift either.
You've watched X-Men. I mean, she can summon a tornado, and that hair does not get out of place whatsoever. I mean,
yeah, but that's hot. Oh, she's hot. She's hot. You're going to have to pour me a whiskey in a minute, because I'm freezing my balls off.
So, let's just start off, because...
Speaking of which, actually, now that I'm going to go off. Never mind, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
If you're going to interrupt, say what you got to say.
Go ahead. What? Go ahead. You're fine.
If you're going to interrupt, finish your thought.
I have ADHD. I can't help but interrupt. We've had this conversation. I found the rib cage to go with your skull-topped whiskey decanter over there. There was just the rib cage, but they didn't have the lid, so I would have bought it.
Oh, yeah?
Because it was cool. Well, then you have one with the skull and one with the rib cage, and it's just fucking awesome. You get a whole anatomical set.
All right.
I have ADHD. What do you want from me? I have ADHD. I just pounded a Red Bull, and I'm on my second little Fireball. What do you want from me?
See, there's show conversations, And then there's after show conversations.
Absolutely not. We share with everyone.
Anyway.
Don't start with me. I'll take it down a whole other side road. Mm-hmm.
Brad not being here, you're not familiar with season 1 or 2 of
what is
this
it? We watched
series.
a couple episodes of one.
I showed you the Hydra Stomper episode and the Marvel Zombies episode from season 1.
Okay, I'll give you the zombies was pretty funny. I didn't like the animation on the zombies either because they all look like the Joker. I don't know why. I mean, I guess maybe your lips would be the first to go. Maybe that face tissue there is...
Well, typically...
you would know. You did crime scene classes. What would be the first first tissue to go?
Well, if it's a body that's been left outside, normally the soft tissue gets eaten first.
Well, that's true.
So yeah, the lips and around the
eyelids
eyes and stuff would probably...
So that explained probably why they all look like Joker to me, because they were all missing their lips up to here.
Yeah, you just saw like... Or if you know...
They all had that, what is that, Irish... What's it called? That Irish torture? The something smile?
I don't know.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I've never heard of Irish torture. I know they call the Joker a rictus grin, but I've never heard of it.
No, it's something else. It's something you do to people where you slash them all the way up, basically the cheekbones, and the smile goes all the way up.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I've not heard what it's called.
You know what whatever it is necktie is, right?
Yeah, it's called a necktie. That's where you like pull somebody's esophagus out through their neck hole.
Well, yeah, you pull their tongue out through. Yeah, you pull their tongue out through their. Yeah, but this is. God, there's an actor that's been done to too. One of them.
The guy from Sons of Anarchy's got the cheek scars.
Yes, where it goes all the way up on the side, and yeah. But there's a name for it. There is a name for doing that to somebody, and I think it's an Irish mafia thing.
Well, kids, you can Google that at home and find out that answer on your own.
But yeah, the necktie thing is where they pull your tongue back through your neck.
I'm aware.
Well, you said esophagus. It's not your esophagus.
Same thing. They pull something out through something that's not
they
supposed to be out.
pull your tongue out through the back of your neck, and that's why it looks like a necktie, because your tongue will hang down to like here when it's...
Again.
Sorry!
Nothing to do with what if.
Don't care. I need another fireball. We'll see where this goes.
Brad, I miss you. Please come home.
I think I'm about to be evicted from the podcast, y'all.
Since you're not familiar with season 1 and 2, did you feel lost jumping in at season 3? Because these are kind of one-off.
No, I mean, because they are, it's a one-off, like you said. The story kind of gets developed for you.
I mean, there's certain little points that connect back to the previous seasons, but...
Okay, I was kind of lost on the, Stephen Strange, his own universe thing, but I think you said that was from the last movie, and I thought I saw the last movie, but
no, that is from the last season of What If.
Oh, okay.
It was the finale of season 2.
Okay, well, that's why.
Where Strange basically fed himself to a machine that created a new universe, and apparently he's like the god of that universe.
I kind of missed that part. I didn't understand how he had his own... Doctor Strange, or Physician Peculiar had his own universe, but yeah.
What was this, I think they called him Strange Supreme. I think is what his
Strange Supreme.
Yeah, that was that version of Stephen Strange, because he basically
Physician Peculiar
absorbed all the dark arts and was like super powerful.
I mean, he was trying to do it to save his girl. You got to give him credit for that. Even when I'm not batshit crazy, you'd level cities for me.
So, episode 1 of season 3, we get What If the Hulk Fought the Mech Avengers. I don't know how you didn't like this one, because this one was probably my favorite, because it
reminded me of Power Rangers.
That's the point. That's why it was cool.
No. Plus, he had a stormtrooper helmet at the end. Once all the mechs were combined, it was a stormtrooper.
It wasn't a stormtrooper helmet. It looked like the freaking Megazord helmet.
No, it looked like a stormtrooper. It was okay. I didn't love it. I'm sorry, I didn't. And the second one was even worse.
Well, we're still talking about episode 1.
Okay.
Yeah. What if the Hulk fought the Mech Avengers? And speaking of things being in different animated styles, it started off with very old looking animation, and it's supposed to be like an Avengers cartoon that this kid is watching before it cuts to the modern era. But it definitely looked like old 70s Voltron, like the Tony Stark in that within the cartoon, he had like the long hair and shit, like the fucking like feathered hair.
Oh, come on. RDJ is hot no matter what you do with him. He's hot no matter what. That is daddy. That is metal daddy.
So yeah, in this universe, Bruce Banner just tried to rid himself of the Hulk, and unfortunately he just kind of freed the Gamma Beast without his like conscience
and control it.
And
to control it. Ugh.
This Gamma Beast basically created its own army of little Gamma Beasts and started
like
trying to destroy the
reproduced
world.
in a massive level and made like 3,000 babies.
So the Avengers, basically Tony made every Avenger a Hulkbuster armor to try to fight this army of Gamma Beasts. But the original Avengers was wiped out, and the next kind of generation of Avengers was able to win the Gamma War.
Mm-hmm.
And now they find out that, like, you know, the main Gamma Beast was just kind of in hibernation and has been building an army under like the Arctic
shelf somewhere. This has got a whole little layer up underneath the Arctic shelf somewhere, just popping out babies by itself, which is messed up because.
I mean, you said Power Rangers. I went like Pacific Rim.
I went Power Rangers. It made me think Power Rangers.
But then the end it goes full Power Rangers or Voltron because
I don't remember Voltron.
7 lion robots come together to make one big...
No, I don't remember Voltron. But you said 70s. I wasn't alive yet. I don't remember Voltron.
Well, they just had like a brand new series on Netflix, like 3 seasons of like a modernized Voltron.
No, I don't remember Voltron. I remember Power Rangers real well because I love the Power Rangers.
Well, this was like early 80s, but yeah.
Which is funny because
it's like
girls weren't supposed to watch Power Rangers.
5 lion robots come together to form one big robot.
Lions? They were all lions?
When they were separate, they were lions. And then they came together and made Voltron, which was like this badass samurai robot.
Look this up here in a minute because I don't remember that.
But yeah,
Power Rangers was cool. I liked Power Rangers.
New Captain America Sam goes because like Banner's gone into hiding and he's like living on an island chilling.
Well, yeah,
and tries to go get his help. He's like, "You're the expert on like Gamma Beasts. We're not gonna be able to win this fight without you." And he's like, "I can't go back to being the Hulk, but I've designed some software to upgrade your suits." And when they power up the suits, it's like it goes full like
Megazord.
Megazord.
It's fucking Megazord, and I love it.
And that's the thing, you can tell they're kind of gearing up for like the next.
All right, I see what you're saying here because I am kind of. It's not like slouching back and chilling. It's moving closer because I'm cold. So.
But anyway, it's. I was on a train of thought there. It's this whole season, they're really pushing like the next phase of the Avengers. Like the previous seasons, they introduced a couple of new characters, but mainly focused on alternate realities of the original Avengers. Where this one, other than that one episode with the Hulk, it's Moon Knight, the Ten Rings,
Shang-Chi. His name is Shang-Chi. I don't know why. I don't know if you just can't pronounce it or what.
In this Mech Warrior episode, it's Sam Wilson Falcon, Bucky Barnes Winter Soldier, Monica Rambeau, the Red Guardian and his wife. I can't remember her name.
Oh, God, I don't either.
Shang-Chi, the Ten Rings, Moon Knight, if I haven't already said that. It's like, and then later on episodes, we get Riri Williams and...
Yeah.
So yeah, they were definitely going heavy on the next phase of the Marvel universe.
I mean, that was like the first 3 though, or the first 3 or 4 episodes, because then by the time you get past that, it's alternative Avengers. It's not actual Avengers, and it's not even Next Generation. I don't think, because I don't think
But none of these featured like the classic.
Oh well,
guys.
no.
I mean, we didn't even see Thor. We saw Loki, a version of Loki, but yeah, you didn't even get like a Thor
that's because
episode.
Loki's awesome.
So,
I love Loki.
Yeah, when everything combines and it goes like, but then
there you go. You're gonna get a black and white. Now, I love Loki. It's gonna be based on I love Lucy. It's I love Loki.
But yeah, even I do like when for a minute there they're like winning the fight, and then like the main Mecha Beast shows up and like knocks them down, and freaking Moon Knight's like,
Shang-Chi?
No.
Oh.
Moon Knight's god.
Oh, Khonshu.
Khonshu says, "Light him up," and like pulls out like all the guns. But yeah, then Bruce has to show up, and he's like, "I've figured out I have to do this." So I'm basically going to like detonate a gamma bomb with me in the core of it and goes like super Hulk. I mean, he goes like full Godzilla. He's even got like a tail and shit.
Yeah, but did you see how it lit up at the end? That was my favorite part.
It even kind of did like almost the Godzilla yell at one point. It's like
I didn't hear the Godzilla yell, but according to you,
he did do the like the freaking laser blast out of his mouth, like nuclear breath shit. I mean, he went full Godzilla.
Yeah, but we've had that argument before, that the Godzilla yell that I recognize as the Godzilla yell is not the one that you recognize, because it's not... The one I recognize is from the...
That's not Godzilla.
Paul Rudd.
That's not Paul Rudd. It was...
not Paul Rudd. What's his name?
Ferris Bueller. That's the character he played.
Yeah,
but,
God, what's his name?
Yeah, no, that is not Godzilla. That's a stupid fucking iguana.
I don't...
Godzilla has a distinct...
That was
yell.
the Godzilla yell.
No.
Okay, it's the Godzilla yell I recognize. I don't remember the original Godzilla movies.
I do not accept that as a Godzilla.
I accept that as a Godzilla.
No,
I loved it.
Godzilla is so much bigger than that thing.
I don't
Godzilla
care.
could have stepped on that thing.
I don't care. I loved it. I loved it anyway. I love that movie.
Monsters.
I never saw King of Monsters.
Anyway,
you want to add that to the list?
That's going to be our new. I need to do a new YouTube series where we found out that she has so many just like gaps in her pop culture knowledge that I'm going to start making her
all right. Hold
watch
on.
these movies.
Hold on.
Pretty much
it
everyone
is not
has seen.
Pop culture knowledge. It is man culture knowledge. That's the problem.
You've not seen Top Gun, you communist.
I have seen Top Gun. I just could care less about it. It is man culture knowledge. It's not pop culture knowledge.
No, I'm pretty sure it's pop culture.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we're have to do a YouTube series of like making her watch these things that most everyone has already seen, and then get a reaction.
Not every woman has seen fucking what did you ask me about the other day? Which the military justice one?
Military justice one.
Yes, the one about the one with Arlie Ermy in it.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yes. Not every woman has seen Full Metal Jacket. Not every woman. I'm sorry.
Every woman that's not a communist.
Not every person with boobs has seen Full Metal Jacket. I promise you. Do a poll. We're going to need a poll.
Comment here if you're not a communist.
If you currently contain or have access to boobs of your own, have you seen Full Metal Jacket? And if you have, is it because some man forced you to? Is that why? Because I have never seen it, and I have been told that makes me a communist.
Yes.
No.
I mean, it's
and the fact that I don't like Top Gun. I think Top
Gun
Gun sucks.
Scorsese, but not.
It's not Scorsese.
It's
I've seen The Godfather. That's different.
I'm not a big Godfather fan.
Well, I'm not either, but I've watched it.
So, speaking of classic Hollywood, see? Transition.
I'm listening.
Episode 2. What if Agatha went to Hollywood?
Ugh. I hated every second of watching that up until she turned into a celestial, and then it was cool because she looked good, and that was good. But before that,
yeah, it's
no.
Agatha from WandaVision and Agatha All Along is if anyone the 5 people that saw the Eternals movie.
I love the Eternals movie, even if everybody said it sucked. I mean, I think the Rotten Tomatoes score was like 20% or something. I thought the Eternals movie was good. I thought it was cute.
But
I liked it.
Yeah, it's set in what do you say, 50s Hollywood?
Hell, I'd say like 30s or 40s.
No,
40s based on the outfits. If I'm going by the
because
costuming,
this would have been post World War II Hollywood.
Okay, so maybe early 50s then, because I was just going by the
because it was
costuming,
still like
the director, for example, like his suit.
Yeah, that's Howard Stark.
Excuse me? That was Howard Stark?
You did not pick up that was Howard Stark? Yes, that was Stark.
No, I did not.
His AD was Jarvis. This was Howard Stark from...
No, I did not pick that up.
From, if you ever saw the Agent Carter series, it's like post-World War II, like the starting of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mm-hmm. And, it's like that era of like late 50s... like just post World War II.
I don't know. I was going with based on the fashion, and the fashion I would say was late 40s, maybe really early 50s, I guess, or maybe I'm just off.
It was definitely like 40s, 50s ish, like big Hollywood.
Yeah, the costuming was definitely like early.
And she's
40s.
basically got Howard directing a film that she's like trying to basically do a spell to drain the celestial that's being birthed under the earth. steal
because,
his energy.
if he does give birth, we all die. That might be why.
Yeah, in typical Agatha fashion, you don't know if she's like doing this to be good or doing this because she just wants the power. It's not about saving the earth. It's about
she's
getting
gonna
more
die
power.
too. It's not gonna be just all of us. It's her too.
But
even evil people or even evil beings
if
can
you
do
did
quite a
see-
lot to save their own neck.
if you did see the Eternals,
Who
Kango,
didn't see the Eternals?
it was not one of the
I
more
know it wasn't
highly successful.
highly rated, but I loved it.
I mean, it wasn't a bad film. It just wasn't as successful as some of the others. I don't think.
I liked it.
But yeah, so if you would remember the Eternal Kango, he was basically, since he doesn't
Now,
die,
see, that's the funny part is I loved him in the movie.
spent a lifetime being an actor and just like playing his
His
father,
own
then
grandson.
his son, and then his
Yeah.
grandson. And she's like, I don't have enough power to make this spell. I need this power of an immortal. So she like gets Howard to like, yeah, we need to get a guest star in this movie. I got to have somebody to play against, and it's Kango, and they have like I like the back and forth like kind of battle where it's kind of classic Hollywood versus like a Bollywood dance scene, and it keeps like cutting back and forth between the classic big band dance sequence
I hated
too.
it so much. I hated it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it was.
Like I said, when she became a Celestial, though, that would be some really sweet fucking cosplay. I could pull that shit off. It would just be hard.
Space Lady.
Yeah, I wanted it. I like it.
And then Kango, the commissioner's like, hey, you could be a god or you could be an actor. Like, it convinces her to be an actor.
Well, I mean, if you get to, eventually people are going to stop worshiping you as God, but if you get to, as a God, but if you get to keep playing your own children over and over again, that sounds like immortality to me.
Oh.
My great grandmother was a movie star, and my grandmother was a movie star, and now I'm a movie star.
Yeah, and I like the.
At least it gives you the option to change. You can change up your look that way, going forward as much as you want. It's just, genetics.
And it's funny when they tell Howard, she's like, actually, I'm a witch. He's an alien, and he's like, yeah, I know. She's like, what? And she's like, I'm Howard freaking Stark. I know all these things. In fact, I figure I could save money if we used real magic in this film, and instead of me having to pay special effects guys. So he's like been playing along this whole time. He's like, yeah, I know y'all are like witches and shit.
I'm aware. I'm Howard. I'm a fucking genius, man. You don't understand. I know everything. All right, pour me a whiskey because I'm freezing my balls off, dude. Just like a little one.
I'm trying to like run a show here, dear. I don't have time to mix drinks.
That's fine. All right, don't worry about it. Thank you. I'm freezing. I'm sorry. Can't run the heat, but I'm cold.
So, yeah, I think it was, I did kind of enjoy this, but it might not have been a great idea to have this as like episode 2 because it was kind of.
There's
yes, we know. It was kind of a weak episode. So if like you're not invested in it being like season 3, that yeah, it was kind of a hard jumping in point. So they may not have wanted to start the series with this.
I'm not gonna lie, I hated every bit of that second one, and I very seriously thought, you know what, fuck this, I can't do it. I can't watch this whole series like this. And I'm the one that's into musicals, which is funny too, but I just couldn't. I'm like, this sucks. But it got better.
Also, you're not as familiar with the source material. You didn't watch Agatha all along.
No, I did. I mean, I watched all of.
You watched
WandaVision,
I think. But...
Yeah, I did watch all of WandaVision.
So yeah, it's like I could, after watching Agatha all along, I could definitely see Agatha trying something like this.
That's stouter than I thought it was.
And that gets us to episode 3. The buddy cop episode.
You thought buddy cop. I thought gay men flirting. That's what I found. That's what I believed it to be. It's like, y'all have just not decided to
just
acknowledge
because the
it.
Winter Soldier has nice hair doesn't mean he's gay.
He looks like Jesus. It is Marvel Jesus.
Oh, that was the other one where he had the beard too.
He still looked like Jesus. It's like Marvel Jesus and his boyfriend on a quest is how that went down. And it's like, not even his own age boyfriend, which is, Sam, because that's actually Bucky's boyfriend. This is like going after an older dude boyfriend.
So, if you're familiar with the Red Guardian from...
The Red Guardian's hilarious, but...
He's kind of jealous of Winter Soldier he's like, y'all are sending me to Ohio to be like an IT guy? This is bullshit. I am the Red Guardian. I am the hero of Russia.
Oh, my God.
And he finds out the Winter Soldier's getting sent on a mission and tries to...
But damn, it works.
Butt in on it. Mm-hmm. And... So it was the mission to kill Howard Stark and steal the stuff, whatever the soldier serum. Mm-hmm. But they steal the serum, but the Red Guardian prevents him from killing anybody because he's like, I am hero of Russia. We should not be killing people.
Yes, but a hero of Russia doesn't want to kill Americans. That's how that works.
So he's like, constant, and then like the higher ups are like, your mission has failed. You're on your own to get back. And then it ends up being this freaking road trip buddy cop movie, pretty much, with like the Red Guardian, the Winter Soldier, and him trying to teach the Winter Soldier to be like, nicer and whatnot.
Which, like, he was such a great guy.
And just keep like, raging against the trappings of capitalism.
The whole time I'm watching it, I keep like flashing back to the Black Widow movie, and it's like, listening to him be such a dick towards his daughters, and they're just like, the whole like, oh God, are you on your period? Well, we can't have periods, dipshit. We have no fallopian tubes. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they end up in Vegas with he's like, no, there's a secret spy. He will get us out. The Raven. He's like, and he gets there, and it's the dude from Iron Man, the first Iron Man, Jebediah, or
not Jebediah. Was it Jebediah?
No, it was
Jediah. Was it Jediah or was it Obadiah?
Obadiah Stane.
There you go.
All right, where were we?
The Red Guardian, and then going to Vegas, and there was a. What did you say?
Obadiah Stane.
Obadiah, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, they think he's some kind of Russian hero, and he's like, no, I just like sold.
What did it have anything to do with Russia?
He thought he did, and then he's like, no, you idiots! Like, I gave them some information in exchange for them killing freaking Stark, and you two idiots fucked it up. Like, I don't care about Russia.
No.
And they end up like, throwing him out the freaking window.
Well, he deserved that. He deserved worse. Somebody should have stuck a bomb to his ass and shot him into space.
And you got, like, whatever, Giant Man.
Giant Man?
I don't remember what... Lawrence Fishburne's character. I don't remember what his superhero name was. From, like, the second Ant-Man movie. He was the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that was trying to chase Bucky and him down.
Yeah, but I can't remember his name.
Because he didn't get small, he got big. Was his deal.
Yeah, but I can't remember his name either now.
Yeah,
I have to look it up. I don't know.
Him chasing them around. And at the end finds Bucky eventually gets captured and goes back to being the Winter Soldier, and the Red Guardian's hiding out as a high school gym teacher. And he's like, you should come join the event. And then you get that Avengers Assemble moment from the first Avengers movie, and then there's the Red Guardian, like, hey guys, I am part of team.
I am not a Russian spy.
And then we got, every season there's like a weird one that's like mostly comedic,
just for throwaway. Just gotta have one fun thing in there.
And then this one was Howard the Duck gets married.
That is I have loved Howard the Duck since I was a little bitty child. My father showed me Howard the Duck, the original movie. I have watched it every year, at least once, over and over. I have a Howard the Duck. I should have brought my Howard the Duck out here to set him on the table, but I have a Howard the Duck.
I mean, you've got figure. Don't you have it on VHS?
I do actually, and I have it on DVD as well. And I have a Howard the Duck action figure.
Yeah, so if you remember way back, it may have been season 1, where it was like, what if like Thor was an only child, and he basically was like this spoiled like frat boy party dude, and threw like a big ass party on the Earth. And Darcy from the Thor movies meets Howard the Duck.
Half-price nachos.
And they
Isn't that
fell
what
in
does
love
it?
over nachos, and now they've
Half-price nachos. Cheap
they've
nachos.
had a baby,
Had a baby.
or which is an egg, and apparently it was born on some kind of celestial
holiday, yeah. Some big celestial
but like
important date.
so it's like everyone in the Marvel universe is trying to steal their baby. Like the Grandmaster who's
Explain
now
to me, how does it take 9 hours to deliver an egg? An egg is...
Fuck if I know. I don't know how that biology works.
I've had 2. It doesn't take 9 hours to deliver an egg. An egg
You
is...
didn't lay a fucking egg.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but mine had elbows and knees and toes and like different things. This is cylindrical. It's smooth. It's not like... I don't know. I know what I'm saying, but you don't understand.
So yeah, it's like Grandmaster wants to serve it as a special brunch on his cruise ship.
He wants to make a Howard the Duck baby omelet.
And then you've got Yondu trying to take it to deliver it to the Collector, who's been killed by a cult, and now it's like the Dormammu cult is trying to use the egg to give Dormammu a body in this dimension. And then you got S.H.I.E.L.D. who wants to take it because it thinks it's going to be some kind of powerful weapon, and they don't trust it in the hands of...
Which would have been even more funny if they had, like, able to sacrifice it to, or give it to Dormammu as a body to inhabit, if it had popped out looking like Howard. You got Dormammu, the all-encompassing, all-powerful, fluffy little duck man.
And then you got... So, once they escape the cultists, they're like, we got to go hide. So they go to... Loki, who is still a frost giant, is trying to turn Jotunheim into a ski resort.
Yes. That was awesome. I don't know if I like blue Loki, but I like flesh-colored Loki. But I'm like every other woman on the planet that likes flesh-colored Loki. So.
And then everyone shows up to try to steal the baby. You got
to protect the baby. Got to protect the egg.
Zeus and the Olympians. You got
I never saw any of the Olympians. It was just Zeus by himself in his floating chair.
That's what the dudes were with the spears and the shields were. Those were his army.
They were Olympians?
Well, they were his army.
Oh.
I don't know what they actually call them. You don't really see them in...
Okay. Well, I was thinking from the Thor movie with Zeus, and that's what I was expecting to see.
Lightning bolt for you. Lightning bolt for you. Lightning bolt.
So you're saying the throwaway funny one was in the first season was zombies?
I can't remember what the goofy one was. It might have been Party Thor was the goofy episode. I don't know, but like every season there's at least one kind of weird goofy episode.
I don't know. I think I like the zombies because I don't think that fits in anything anywhere else. But the zombies was pretty good.
I mean, there is a comic book series of Marvel zombies. I think there's been like 4 of them.
4 of them, really? I didn't know that. This is some good shit, dear, but this is a little above my taste, my skill level. I don't even remember what this is, but it's pretty good.
That is Smoke Wagon Bourbon out of Vegas.
Made in Vegas?
Yep.
Well, that's appropriate. We were just talking about Vegas. I'm going to go back to my cheap-ass little fireball, though.
Yeah, of course, the inclusion of Kiss as Made for Loving You kind of gave me flashbacks to the Fall Guy movie.
No, it was so great. That was great, for one. The Fall Guy movie was better than I expected. But that video I showed you today that I found with Linda Carter doing I Was Made for Loving You with her band dressed up as Kiss. Wonder Woman does Kiss.
Yeah.
That was great.
I mean, it was the 80s or 70s. Wonder Woman might have done Kiss.
I'm sure a lot of people did Kiss, baby. A lot of people did Kiss, I'm sure. I'm not going to say I wouldn't have back in the day. I probably would have been one of Bowie's groupies instead. But
that was like actually the first concert I went to by myself that I drove myself to was Kiss.
You went to a Kiss concert?
I did.
I'll bet that was awesome.
It was... Because that wasn't my first concert, because I'd went to like a couple concerts with, family. But this is the first time I went to a concert on my own.
I'm ashamed to admit
during high school
that mine was the Up in Smoke tour, and I hooked up with a guy on America Online to get to that concert. Some dude on America Online bought me the concert ticket. I met him in Atlanta. We went to the concert together.
Of those.
So yeah, that was the first one that I ever went to by myself.
That was in high school, and it was the year, because for a while there, Kiss quit wearing the makeup, and this was the first tour where they put the makeup back on.
Oh, fuck yes, they need the makeup.
At the Omni before they tore that down. That's how old I am.
Now, see, I went to the Omni, but I went to the Omni that was attached to the hotel. The Omni Hotel in Atlanta had a concert venue at one point.
Yeah, the Omni was where like the Hawks played. It was like the basketball stadium /
Well, that might have been it
concert
too,
space.
But there was at some point or another there's a hotel in Midtown called the Omni Hotel, and they had an event space with it, and I went and saw a concert there.
This was a standalone theater called the Omni, but they tore it down in like.
Yeah, this is a bit above my price point here.
I think they tore it down in like '96 because they tore it down to build the Olympic Stadium.
Well, then, yeah, it probably would have been 95 because the Olympics were in 96.
So, yeah, this might have been the last concert at the Omni before they tore it down.
I don't know if I'm going to get this down. You want to finish this up or you want me to try?
Set it down. I'll finish it later.
All right.
I got a lot of editing to do. I have to keep my wits about me.
Okay. Well, then fine. I'll finish it. It's just going to be tough.
So, yeah, the egg finally hatches and just starts, zapping everybody. You all right? I need to get the bucket?
No, I don't need a bucket. I just almost suffocated.
That's why you sip whiskey. You don't shoot whiskey.
There wasn't enough left in the glass to shoot. I was just trying to finish it up. Oh, my God. That burnt like hell.
Oh, I can't wait to see the YouTube comments on this episode.
Oh, my God.
If you're only listening to the audio show, definitely go over to the YouTube and give this a watch. And hey, give it a like and a subscribe. As of my last check, up to 452 subscribers, trying to hit 500 in the next month or two. So go check us out.
Why don't you tell them what happens when you hit 500? What's the plan?
We already did that. I'm going to try to get a hold of a 500 Smith & Wesson and
that's true.
Shoot a 500 for the 500.
I think I almost died. My eyes are watered.
Or we should do a video where I shoot every single one of my guns. Like just a tour of the whole collection.
You mean mine or mine too, or just yours?
We could do an episode of just your guns. It'll be a lot shorter than the episode of just my guns.
Well, I know that. My collection is smaller than yours, but mine are different and kooky and...
We can do a Tactical Tuesday and let you give a tour of your collection.
We could do that.
But anyway...
my collection is, what? Mine is only like 17, 16, 15? Somewhere in there. Somewhere in the teens for mine. I think.
So, the next
You're
episode...
going to have to break it into like 3 episodes because you have so many.
Now, freaking Demo Matt did an episode where he shot I lost count. It was like 300 or 400 guns. It was like an hour-long video.
One episode?
It was an hour-long video. And he only fired each gun once.
Well, yeah, okay.
Like I said, it was like he had one of these tables.
I have just screwed up my makeup.
So he had like maybe 10 of these tables, like we're recording on, covered in guns. It was huge.
One of these tables wouldn't hold all yours either. It'd hold all mine.
Yeah, but I'm only at like a 2-table collection. I don't have a 10-table collection yet.
It'd probably take 3 of these, I would think.
Nah. Oh.
Anyway.
So then we get
I did almost die.
The what if the emergence destroyed the Earth?
Oh, God. Fuck. Yeah, I'm a little unclear on that one because I watched it and I thought I paid pretty good attention. So where did all these survivors come from, or where are all these survivors located? If the Earth was destroyed, where are all these people?
Well, they're on the remnants of the Earth. It shows the Earth all cracked to shit, and like I guess it maintained an atmosphere, and there's like people living on these various hunks of floating Earth. It's a comic book show. You don't have to worry too much about it. So yeah, if the big eternal are not the eternal, I'm having a brain fart now. The Celestials. If the Celestials from the Eternals movie did not get shut down and actually birthed and blew up the Earth, these are the people that survived.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
And
yeah.
Quentin Beck.
The creature was the Celestial. The creature inside the Earth was the Celestial.
Yes, and the Eternals were the people that were serving it or stopping it in this case. So if it emerged,
under what's his name's
and basically, and so during the chaos, Quentin Beck, you may remember from the Spider-Man movies, he basically stole a bunch of nanites and basically took over the world. And there's like a small band of like resistance fighters trying to he called it his Iron Legion or whatever it was, where it's just a
Yeah,
bunch of like
something like that. It was
bunch of like automated like he has like the white vision and then a bunch of like Iron Man animated suits
which
and
you
shit.
did have to explain to me because I didn't understand where White Vision came from. But yeah,
that was the soulless vision from WandaVision, but it's basically
that just
reanimated
hurts
his
my heart,
body.
man. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a girl and Wanda and Vision's thing was.
Yeah,
That hurts my heart. Soulless Vision hurts my heart.
anyway, this was
It
very
makes me
much
sad.
like the Riri Williams episode because she's got her own series going to be coming out.
Is that what they called her in the movie? Because I don't remember
Yeah, that's her name, Riri.
referring to her as Riri.
Yeah, Riri.
Was it? I thought it was Rory or something.
No, it's Riri.
Oh.
Yeah, she's getting her own series called Ironheart coming up at some point.
What was the other one you said? Some Iron Fist? Was there another one?
That's he was part of the Netflix Marvel series.
Okay.
He's basically a kung fu master that his like hand can like basically he gets an energy fist.
Okay.
He's a kung fu master with mystical powers, kind of like Shang-Chi in the Ten Rings. Except his like fist can like just punch through things. It gets like
Cool.
it glows, and then he can like super ninja shit. Supposedly they're bringing all those Netflix originals back into the MCU, but we've not seen Iron Fist.
Now, where
yet.
did you see what Netflix original ones? Which ones are you talking about? Because I must have missed this one.
Previously, Netflix had their own Marvel series,
Okay.
but when Marvel Disney bought Marvel and they started Disney Plus, Marvel took all the rights back from Netflix. So
Okay.
Netflix ended all their Marvel series, and they were within the MCU, but part of that contract was
we start all
Disney
over.
they could not use that product for like I think it was like 3 or 4 years. There was like a moratorium.
Oh, okay.
So now they're able to use those
So now that
characters'
moratorium
names.
has passed.
That's why in the last Spider-Man movie we saw
all three
Daredevil.
Spider-Man. Oh.
His lawyer, Matt Murdock. That's
Oh,
Daredevil.
yeah, okay.
And it's the same actor who played him in
Yeah, it's
the
Ben
Netflix
Affleck.
series. No.
Oh.
Charlie Cox? Charlie something. Not the
Not
Ben
the
Affleck movie. I'm
Okay.
talking the Netflix
Okay.
series.
All right. So yeah.
So in the last Spider-Man movie, his lawyer, Matt Murdock, is Daredevil
Oh, okay.
from the Netflix series. So they did Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and
Jessica
the
Jones
Punisher.
is hot.
So all those people are eventually going to get back in. I know that they're.
I wonder if
doing
they're going to use
another-
the same actor for
Yes.
her, actress for her, because
Well,
she's
I don't know about her.
fucking
I know
hot.
they're using Punisher and Daredevil.
I don't even remember what her name is, but she's like all my little goth girl fantasies rolled up into one.
Yeah,
What I can't remember her name, but she's hot.
yeah, not right top of my head. But yeah, the Resistance. It's like Wong and
Yeah.
Shang-Chi's aunt and
I can't remember her name now.
Valkyrie, and the lead of the Dora Marju, the Black Panther bodyguards.
But, Dora Milaje.
Yeah, I can't remember what the
Oh,
general.
God.
I can't remember what her name is.
General Okoye.
Yeah. And this was the first episode where the Watcher violated his rule of only watching, because he's like, I can't stand to watch this one more time. Like, no matter what happens, Riri always loses in all the universes.
Which has got to, you got to kind of
And then he finds,
understand.
like-
Eventually you get tired of watching good
He's
get
like,
its ass
fight,
kicked.
fight back, and like
Fucking get up and do something, bitch.
inspires her to like get up and like actually save the universe.
Stop being a bitch, because I can't stand watching y'all get your ass kicked again.
And then we get
And I don't really even know that should technically be qualified as interfering, because he didn't actually interfere. That could have come from her inner monologue. That could have been something inside her.
he inspired it.
But
Yeah,
but he didn't
gave her
actually
hope.
intervene. He just
Well, the Watcher Council at that point is like, all right, now we got to watch him.
This is
bor-
violation
this is
number one.
bordering on violation, but now we're going to pay attention.
Because he didn't
And
actually.
then he legit interferes in the next one.
True, but he didn't actually interfere. That fight back could have been a family member from long past. It could have been her own will to fight
But
coming
yeah,
back. That could have been anything. That's not necessarily.
What if 1872? We get the Wild West Marvel where it's
that one was good, and I even
Shang-Chi
liked the
and the
animation
new-
style for that one.
the
That
new
particular
Hawkeye.
one was good.
hunting a villain who is they think like just wiping out villages of and turn
Immigrants.
and Shang-Chi and Hawkeye.
Which, I mean, is legit because it was
I
Chinese
like that
immigrants.
fight scene because, like, you know, it being the Wild West, instead of like a bow and arrow, she's using 6-shooters, and he's like kung fuing people, and he's like kicking guns out of their hand, and then she's like just catching them and
But
continuing
he
to shoot.
didn't have the rings. It bothers me. I mean, it doesn't have to be 8-10 bracelets. It still was not. You could have done leather cuffs.
But yeah, he's like kicking guns out of people's hands, and she's catching them and just continuing to shoot people.
That one, the animation style for that one,
Pretty sure it was the same.
I
as
know it
all
was the same, but that storyline, it fit. I thought that one was seamless. Kind of like you said, the zombies one. That animation style fit really well with the story. It was seamless. It was perfect. I just didn't like it for some of the other ones.
But in this one, we get legit interference because there's like a kid, like the one survivor of the last, that leads Shang-Chi and Hawkeye to find the ghost train, which is a...
Yeah, there was something else about that bothered me, but that's okay. Go ahead.
It turns out that they've basically been hypnotizing all these people and building a slave army to take over the country.
Was the tune supposed to be something we recognized from somewhere?
No, it just sounded like a...
The Pocket Watch tune seems so familiar to me, but I could not...
Well, because it is. It was like... It's that same tune that just about every old music box plays. I don't know what it's called, but it's like anytime you found an old music box, it's that same freaking tune. But for some reason, that Pocket Watch hypnotized people that heard that song. Yeah, that was not an original work. That's like I don't know what it's called, but I've heard that tune like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, this time
But I mean,
the bad guys are going to kill the kid, and the Watcher like flicks their ass off the chain.
The sister,
train.
Shang-Chi, not one of them looked Chinese to me. They all looked white, and that bothered me.
It's kind of hard in animation.
Not
Hell, even if you watch like Japanese animation, they all look American because they all have big round eyes.
That's true. Well, that's only the girls. It's the females that have the big round eyes. The guys' eyes are narrow and thin. I've been watching way too much anime recently, so...
You're on that Korean TikTok again.
It's not Korean TikTok. It's Facebook, actually. It's the not quite anime porn that's almost anime porn because you can see what's gonna happen. They just don't show what happens.
But yeah, that one is the Watcher legit interfered and he got arrested by the Watcher Council.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of like one of those PR people where you could spin it a different way. It looks like the kid stumbled. So,
It wasn't the kid. It was the guys that were chasing him that he does that little flicking motion and their asses fall off the train and don't kill the kid.
They slipped. I'm sorry. It was wet. It was cold. It was icy. They slipped.
Let me see. The Watchers see everything, so they could see him fucking around.
They slipped. I'm telling you. It was them alligator leather shoes he had on. He slipped on them, and that was it. And the kid had, like, scruffed up work shoes, so they had more traction. Yeah. He had, like, tread-safe kitchen shoes.
You can be the Watcher's defense attorney.
You're goddamn right I can.
Which leads us to, what if the Watcher disappeared? Which I thought it was cool, because the Watcher narrates all these episodes, and...
Did they change the what? Is it just me, or was the head Watcher's voice changed in that episode twice? Did it change twice? Like, when the head Watcher was training him, training Owatu, is that what his name was?
Well,
it was an old man, like, voice that I recognized from somewhere. But then when he's talking later, it's a younger man's voice.
I don't know, because, that was a flashback, so you could kind of do that. That's, it's...
The flashback part was a different voice than the one that he had eventually.
Yeah, because it was like a younger version, I guess.
But it should have been younger, but it wasn't. It was an older man actor that played that voice.
I didn't notice it changed, but the Watcher narrates the intro to all these shows, and I thought it was funny that since he got arrested, it was the Eminence narrating the intro to the show. And instead of being it hopeful, he's like, what happens when people ask the most dangerous question? What if?
Arg. I'm angry now.
And in this episode, we get back to, it's kind of the only touchstone between the previous seasons is Captain Carter apparently has decided to become the guardian of the multiverse and is just traveling from universes to universes, stopping threats, and she's
Yes,
put
with
together
her girl
her own,
group, which is awesome.
her own team of
Ladies.
intergalactic Avengers.
It's girl power. It's awesome.
But you've got the grown-up version of Howard the Duck's daughter, a.k.a. Birdie, who's like not only can shoot lasers, but also apparently is a tech genius.
Yeah, I don't know where
built
the
a
lasers
spaceship.
came from, but she's awesome.
And then you have, I can't remember the character's name now, the Native American chick from the first
She was a
second season.
Comanche of some sort.
Yeah, she was introduced in season 2.
Yeah, she
So
was
it
some
was-
kind of Comanche princess,
So,
I think, if I remember correctly.
her and,
But I know that was her lineage was Comanche.
Kahori is her name.
Kahori, yeah.
I had to scroll back to season 2 to see what her name was. And
Never
then-
did see her origin story, but I have.
Yeah, that's a season 2 episode.
Yeah.
And then you get the greatest
Oh
thing.
my god, yes.
Thor
So
Storm.
freaking hot.
Storm
Oh,
is
so
freaking Thor.
hot.
A Thor.
Storm is hot no matter what. Halle Berry was hot as Storm. It's a character
And-
that's hot.
The thing I appreciate about the What Ifs is they are able to, for the most part, they get the actors who play the characters in the
the
live
voice
action
characters.
to voice it. For this, they have X-Men 97's Storm voice, which she has the best like freaking monologues and shit. And it's like
She was hot.
her as Thor is just
She was
badass.
hot. Don't even lie. She
So
was hot.
They
Cartoon.
find these like shards of the broken fifth dimension.
Yeah.
Like we got to figure out a way to get there to save the Watcher. And
I'm not going to watch any more friends die today. That's
so like the first when Birdie takes a shard and tries like some technical mojo to open which fails, and then Thor's like,
which I love is like Howard the Duck's daughter is now like basically the new Tony Stark because she's
and then you've got
technologically a genius. You know,
Storm is like, well, if science doesn't work, maybe we should try some Asgardian magic, and
Yep.
does this whole ceremony, and that's like the most metal.
oh
freaking
my god,
part.
it's so sweet.
I was
I
like,
love it.
freaking, and then that didn't work. So then plan 3 is, well, the only thing we know that has ever broken the veil is a Infinity Ultron. So we need to go to a galaxy where
Let's go find him.
where he didn't find his way into the fifth dimension, and like see if that we can negotiate with that version to.
But it didn't seem like it wasn't Ultron to me. It was Vision. It was not. That was not Ultron. That was Vision.
See, because he was the big bad of season 1, and this was like once he wiped out all life in the galaxy, he could hear the Watcher, and he broke the veil and invaded the multiverse. Where this version of Ultron killed everything and then realized, like, I haven't created peace. I've just
created emptiness.
And
There's
he's been
nothing
sitting
here.
here by himself for eons, and now he's like feels guilty, and he's like, I must protect life. And so it was an Ultron that kind of learned to be Vision, I guess.
But he looked more like Vision. He didn't look like Ultron.
Well,
Didn't he take over Vision?
Well, Vision was supposed to be Ultron.
Yes,
Ultron
Vision
was
was the
building that
ultimate creation for.
But
or
no,
Vision was the
Ultron
type-
was building that body
For
to
himself.
inhabit, and then they stole it and put Jarvis in it and created Vision. So in this universe,
Who
he
is
actually
also
got
hot as fuck, by the
he
way.
actually got the Vision body.
I mean,
guess.
RDJ is hot as that's daddy, but still, Vision was hot as fuck.
Have you watched A Knight's Tale?
Yes,
He's naked a lot in that.
I know. No, I know.
Because that's the same guy.
it's Jockspur in The Knight's Tale. Is
Yeah.
what his name was.
You see his ass a bunch in that.
I know. He's so hot.
So yeah, then they
It's like one of those things that pops up. They're like, where do you know this guy from? And it pops up with Vision. No. OGs know him from Knight's Tale.
great soundtrack too.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Not exactly
classic rock.
historically accurate, but it was hot. It was good.
Oh, and then we get the finale of the series and the season. What if, where they do break the barrier and rescue Peggy,
The Watcher and the Peggy.
Because Peggy was afraid that Ultron would kill her team, so she goes to meet him by herself, and she gets arrested by the Watchers. And so when they show up, fucking the Watcher's like, "Oh shit, it's Ultron." And he's like, "No, he's with us." She's like, "What?" And he's like, "Ha! Now you know what surprise feels like."
Yeah, congratulations.
I thought that was funny.
This is what we call a juxtaposition. Welcome to my world.
It's like you see all,
so
you know
crazy,
all,
though.
and it's like we finally surprised you.
Okay. Just random question. When you watch women fight, when they're put in male roles as far as like actual physical fights, you know, like, I don't know, Elektra or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Is there not a point, or does it not show up to you or point itself out to you that their hair is flying? Because all female superheroes, none of them have ever had their hair restrained, ever once. Their hair is always loose, correct? Well, I think Elektra did once upon a time, had a ponytail or something, but generally speaking, Black Widow, Storm, all of them, there is hair flying, right?
Sure.
It drove me so crazy. It drove me nuts.
Animation.
I know, but it drove me
really
nuts.
hard to properly animate hair, I would say.
I'm sure, but it drove me nuts.
But they also got the power of the Watcher, and they all became Watchers so they could fight the other Watchers.
True. That was
cool. I mean, that could be part of the mystical powers. Just my hair stays perfect.
Okay. I just don't like it because, like, when you take...
No, I get it, because this is me when I see either bad police work or bad gun things in movies. It takes me out. But you're like...
When you see
hair and
female
makeup,
characters... it's not even makeup. It's when you see female characters that are supposed to be legit badasses, right? As far as physical fights. Be it martial arts, kung fu, whatever, right? None of these women have their hair restrained, correct?
They could have really good hairspray.
There is no... that hairspray has to be made from kryptonite. Okay? But, like, what was it? The second Avengers movie? Where Black Widow had long hair?
No, that was
curly
the
hair?
first or second Iron Man movie.
Okay, yeah. She had the long curly hair, right?
Yeah.
Superhero landing, and what do? You're down, and you flip the hair. Mm-hmm. And, okay, I understand it's hot, and it's sexy, and I get that. No woman ever has tried to fight with her hair in her face. And the fact that she can kind of says to me, she's a legit bigger badass than the men. Because if you can do that with your hair flying everywhere and getting in your face, you're better at it. You're better at it, period.
So, yeah, we, the ladies take the Watcher oath, and he gives them Watcher power so they can finally fight against the...
So I guess this is not like the
other Watchers.
It's not like there can be only one kind of situation that can bestow powers upon. Anybody can be a Watcher as long as another Watcher makes you a Watcher?
I guess. I mean, he is technically all-powerful, so...
I mean, there's been some kind of... That's been a trope through something else before, is if you take the oath, you become...
Green Lantern.
There you go. I wasn't thinking Green Lantern. It was something older, but I can't remember what it is now.
But yeah, they... And then they start trying to, like, erase them from existence, and Peggy's like, no one else dies today, and she, like...
I'm not losing any more friends. That's the way it is.
Basically goes full Super Saiyan and kicks them all into the Strange universe, so Strange can, like, zap everybody's power, and then... Which
is kind of cool, because that almost means that would think that Doctor Strange would be one of the strongest, most powerful Avengers, because if it's just the remnants of his conscience that's left, and still gets to make decisions...
Well, he pretty much created that universe, so he's basically God in that universe.
True.
I guess, that branch of reality.
But they said he destroyed himself to do that, so it's not even a full conscience left. It's just
he fed himself to this
of these
machine that would create that universe, and yeah, you'd have to go back and see that episode to kind of understand it. But yeah, so the old Watchers get kind of stranded there with no powers, and like, Uatu's like, y'all are going to learn to watch. Y'all can start in this universe here, and just
pay attention.
Just learn what I've learned, and then him and the remainder of Peggy's team, I guess, becomes the new Watcher Corps.
Well, because even Uatu, not necessarily the Watcher, because after that point he's not, I am no one, I am someone, and my name is Uatu. This is who I am. Has figured out that there is a right and wrong, no matter what.
He's like,
universally there is
what's the point of watching if I don't save people? It's like, it's kind of like
ultimately there is a right and a wrong, and he feels like intervening on the side of right is going to be the good cause, the correct cause, or the correct path.
The only thing with this season versus the other seasons, the previous seasons, it's been a lot like a bunch of little standalones, and when you get to like the final episode or two, it normally draws elements from all the previous episodes, where this one felt like it drew from the previous seasons and not anything other than Birdie from this season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe that's what you needed. It wasn't. So maybe that's not so much that the Howard the Duck one was a throwaway, because I kind of think the Bollywood one was a throwaway. But
I didn't say throwaway. I said that there's always one like comedy, goofy episode.
well, okay. I'm kind of thinking that was the second episode and not the third, like you think it was.
Because when you get the first season,
because if you're gonna bring Birdie in there, you got to know where she came from. And why she can fly, and I don't know what about the laser eyes. That didn't happen in Howard. And
well, the egg was throwing lightning bolts. I guess that's just an evolution of the lightning bolt thing.
Well, if you remember the Howard the Duck movie, no, that was because
Howard the Duck movie has nothing to do with it.
I don't care.
But yeah, like season 1, when you get to the end where Uatu has to put together a team to fight Infinity Ultron, it's like all the characters from the previous episodes that you thought were one-offs have to come together. He like basically picks a hero from each episode and makes a team out of them, where this one, it was all kind of related back to the previous season and not so much things from this season.
Okay.
Which I liked this season, but it's the weaker of the three. I don't think it was as good as season 1 and 2.
I didn't watch 1 and 2. Except for those ones you showed me as the one-offs. But
yeah, I thought it was good, but like I said, I think the
okay, now be honest with yourself. Is it because it was all females? Is that part of why? Because generally speaking, the male characters are supposed to be stronger.
I'm not talking about this specific episode. I'm talking the season as a whole.
Oh, okay.
I think was weaker than the previous seasons, but it was still good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, instead of 100, it's like an 85.
I don't know. I hated it at like episode 2 or the second episode, and then by the time I'm at the last one or the one before the last one, I'm sitting on the edge of my chair watching because I got sucked in. And maybe it is because I relate more to female antagonists.
The finale of season 2 was also, it was Peggy and the girl whose name I forgot again, the Indian lady, versus evil Doctor Strange. Okay. So it's the being a female centric hero team, not that big of a deal. But yeah, like I'm just saying, overall, I think this season was not as good as previous seasons, but it was still good. You should watch all 3 seasons.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not as big a deal to you, probably.
As we wrap this up, Rocky Patel Emerald, we'll call it a medium. Mm-hmm. It's got a kind of a touch of sweetness, a little bit of spice. I think this might be a good, if you're not a hardcore, like, strong cigar smoker like I am, I think this is a good kind of get people in cigar. I think this one's...
So it'd be something you think I would kind of like.
This one is definitely made to appeal more to the masses than to the niche cigar smoker. Mm. So like it's good, it's flavorful, but it's not as kind of strong as what I normally get or what I normally expect from a Rocky cigar. This is more of, like I said, appealing to a wider audience than the things I normally smoke. But I can give it a recommend. Check that out. And with that, we'll be right back with some science.
Yay, science.
Let's begin. Up for an adventure?
Always.
To understand, you must learn to see.
What exactly are you proposing? It's showtime.
Here we go!
Howard, are you sure you can fly this?
Are you kidding? I'm a duck. I was born to fly. Strap in.
Oh, move over.
If we all go down, the world will be left defenseless.
This is the shot we have. We may not get another one. Let's finish it.
Oh, we're good to go.
Avenger, assemble.
Yes, science!
And welcome back. It's time for some science.
Yay, science. I'm sorry. I lost my voice.
That's what you get for shooting whiskey.
Shooting fireball and whiskey and the whole thing? Yeah.
So, since this is the first episode of 2025.
Please, God, let it be better than 2024.
We're going to talk about some spookily accurate predictions for 2025 made 100 years ago.
Okay. I wonder, like, if we had the time, I know we don't right now, but to see a bunch of just collect a bunch of different predictions for this time and see how many of them are actually accurate or not just from this one scientist. But anyway, go ahead.
So Professor Archibald Montgomery Lowe, who used the title despite not being a real professor, was among prominent inventors of his time. Born in London in 1888, he created one of the earliest prototypes of television in 1914 before going on to develop the world's first uncrewed aircraft during World War I. So basically, he published a book in 1925 called The Future, in which he forecasted ways in which new technologies would transform the lives of the world's population in 2025. So, some of the things he made allusions to smartphones, which he described as automatic telephones that get the number right every time.
Well, I mean, that's pretty accurate.
Which supposedly was in reference to the difficulty of correctly dialing rotary phones in the 20s.
Rotary. Did you say rotary?
Yeah.
Rotary.
Another thing he predicted was said that in the future we would have moving sidewalks, which are, if you've been to the airport or certain malls, that's something we definitely
we do have those.
We do have.
And escalators, which are the same thing except vertically inclined.
And he also predicted that a television machine will replace picture paper, and that your daily news would be delivered over a loudspeaker, which kind of like, podcasts, internet, TV and whatnot.
Yeah, that's pretty true. I mean, I know a lot of people whose smartphones come on with, they start off with the news of the day or whatever, late breaking, whatever.
He also predicted the invention of wireless alarm clocks.
That would be a smartphone too, I would say.
Yeah, because who uses like an actual alarm clock?
I have one, I just don't use it.
Yeah, but he optimistically suggested in the future no one would have to get up before 9:30.
Yeah. Okay.
And he also predicted renewable energy, stating that wind and tide will be harnessed to the service of man.
I mean, tide, not so much.
I mean, there
but
is
like if you're talking like hydroelectric, like dams.
Well, there's also I forgot what there's like. It's like a wave generator. It's like off the shore, and it uses the motion of the waves to generate power.
Well, I'm not real familiar with that, but.
And then of course the wind farms are a big thing.
I mean, hydroelectric is a pretty big up and coming energy field, but that's mostly based on dams.
And he specifically mentioned wind turbines in his in some of his writing. And he also predicted the invention of online banking.
Yeah, but it's the babies grown in labs part of it for me. It's like he thought by this time babies would be grown in labs. And to some degree, he's right, because there is a lot more genetic testing, and you can kind of tailor what you want in an embryo, but it's not exactly grown in lab. It's similar, but it's not quite there yet.
So from past predictions of the future to legitimate past, a 166-million-year-old dinosaur highway has been discovered in the biggest ever discovered in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
In Oxfordshire, England, quarry workers
not that far out of London
noticed unusual bumps underneath the site's clay surface. When they excavated, they found just a whole bunch of dinosaur footprints from the Middle Jurassic period, including a megalosaurus.
I don't remember that one. I'm not sure which one that is, but I'm pretty sure isn't that one of the big carnivores somewhere around T-Rex, like T-Rex, Middle Jurassic would be past the T-Rex, so it'd be a T-Rex like derivative.
I would have to Google that. I'm not familiar with the Megalosaur.
Megalosaur is, I know it's a carnivore. I just don't remember what.
But they've uncovered around 200 footprints sprawled across the quarry floor, creating what they describe as the Dinosaur Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Made up 5 enormous kind of trackways around, like I said, 166 million years ago.
Well, that would have been like, what, Pangea? When the countries were all connected?
But apparently where this rock quarry is now was...
where the continents were all
connected.
connected.
Would have been lagoons and mud flats back then. Hence the footprints in the mud.
God bless it. Sorry. Anyway,
moving on.
Yep.
New bird been discovered in New Guinea that can poison you with its feathers. Gram for gram, it's one of the most toxic natural substances known.
Yes, and that's compared to poisonous tree frogs, which is pretty intense because tree frog poison can be a pretty serious situation.
Yeah, apparently researcher Jack Dumbarcher was netting in New Guinea when his team accidentally caught a lot of hooded patohui while looking for the Ragana bird of paradise. Except for when they freed them, the birds gave them a nip, and without band-aids, they used, basically their fingers to, the old, I cut this, let me lick it.
Let me put it in my mouth to make it stop hurting, which makes so much sense.
So they noticed that after this, their mouth would burn and tingle and even go numb. Sometimes for a few hours, sometimes just long enough that their mouths were still numb the next morning. When they spoke to local guides about this, they're like, yeah, that's common. They said basically that they don't eat these birds because they appear to be poisonous to us.
Yeah, according to them, not worth anything. Well, actually, if you poisoned your spears with the remnants on their feathers,
I'm like, we can't eat them, so they're worthless.
No, you that's an incorrect, because that is absolutely a defensive move.
So yeah, they figured out that these birds actually had some kind of poison that would was kind of in their feathers.
It was something they could
a steroidal alkaloid neurotoxin.
Yeah, something they could process inside their systems that didn't harm them, and actually gave their eggs some kind of a advantage, because predators didn't want to eat the eggs because of the toxin left in the eggs from the mother's
apparently
bodies.
they figured out it was kind of the toxin would start with a tingle and numbing, and in higher dose can lead to paralysis, cardiac arrest, and death. One of the most
So don't stick your bloody
metals.
finger in your mouth ever.
But basically, they figured out that these birds primarily fed on a poison-carrying beetle that didn't affect the birds, but eating the poison beetles made them secrete poison in their feathers that would basically help protect them from reptilian predators and keep them from eating their eggs. And finally, we're going to talk about Uranus.
My anus or everybody's anus?
The planet.
It's not a planet anymore.
No, that's Pluto.
Oh,
Uranus
okay,
has
you're
always
right.
been a
My
planet.
bad.
So yeah.
You mean Planet George?
Yes. So apparently, Uranus almost had a different name. In 1781 in Bath, England, astronomer William Herschel became the first person to recognize what is now called Uranus, and being the guy who discovered it, got the right to name it. And apparently King George, yes, that King George, the one we fought in the Revolutionary War, was his kind of patron. So he wanted to name the planet for...
From what I understand, that
the
is still
king.
true now. If you find it, you get to name it. Of course, I'm not sure 100% of the validity of that fact, but yes, if you discover it, you do still get to name it, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's pretty much kind of how most things go. But when he's like, yeah, we're going to call it Georgium Sidious, or George's Star. Even though not a star. But yeah, this was kind of unpopular to most of the scientific community. especially those outside of Great Britain who was like, fuck that George guy.
Yeah, well, George was nuts. I don't know if it's that George or not, but the George was crazy.
Yeah,
all of the Georges were crazy. That's what happens when you marry cousins and in the royal family and in breeding.
But eventually, a German astronomer, Johann Bode, suggested Uranus, which is Saturn's father in Greco-Roman mythology. And, the name kind of took off. Of course, leave it to a German guy to name something Uranus. If you're familiar with German Scheisse porn.
I'm not familiar with Georgian.
They like things that, to do with Uranus.
Tentacle. Yes, I have some familiarity with anime porn. But German Scheisse porn, I'm not familiar with that one. Is there something you need to tell me, dear? Are you familiar with German Scheisse porn?
I've spent a lot of time on the internet. I've seen things.
That's true. 2 girl, 1 cup kind of things.
Oof.
I think I visually saw you shudder.
A shiver went down my spine. It had nothing to do with the freezing temperatures in this office.
I think I saw you shudder.
For y'all, people too that aren't as old as us, just Google it.
No, don't Google it. Don't Google it.
Experience it for yourself.
No. Let's start them off on something gentle. Start out with Shrek is Love, and if you get through that and are still curious,
Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Oh my God! Fuck no!
Going to Candy Mountain.
No! We're not. We're not going to Candy Mountain ever. We're not going to Candy Mountain.
For all you
start out with Shrek is Love, and if you feel brave after that,
for that outburst, it probably broke your eardrums.
Sorry. That was your fault.
Week. That's all I got for you this week. We'll be right back with some news.
Yes, hello. Let's talk about the Flopcast.
Every week we give podcast listeners a chance to come and join us in Chickentown,
where we talk about Saturday morning cartoons, comics and science fiction conventions, music and concert reports, 70s and 80s pop culture, and for no good reason, chickens.
Boy, we're weird.
Oh, we are ridiculous.
We're proud members of the ESO Network, and you can find us at flopcast.net.
And now it's time for all things nerdy in nerd news.
And welcome back. It's time for some news.
Yay, news. I can't do it like he does. I just can't.
No, I do the yay news and the news.
Okay, well then
he does the science.
You do the news because I can't do it right.
News.
There you go. I can't do it right.
So starting it off, we got a series of new trailers this week. First up, we get the kind of the first trailer of the new James Gunn DC universe with Superman, who I'm not familiar with the actor playing Superman, and pre-James Gunn, the DC universe has been kind of
hit or miss.
Yeah, theatrically, where
Aquaman did great and everything, and Wonder Woman was okay, and the other ones didn't do so hot.
First Wonder Woman was good. Second one was not great.
I mean, as far as like reviews.
Yeah, so coming out July 11th, we got our first trailer for the new Superman, and we're not just getting Superman. Looks like we're getting a lot of heroes in this movie. We saw, I think his name is Mr. Terrific. We saw Hawk Girl.
I'm not sure who Mr. Terrific is. I don't even remember that one.
I know him from the Green Arrow TV series in the last couple seasons. He was one of Arrow's sidekicks.
Mr. Terrific?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever heard that one.
He's like a black dude, had like a T across his face. It was,
yeah, I don't remember that one.
He had these like little drone orb things, kind of like the fucking Phantasm balls.
Oh, I love Phantasm. Oh, Phantasm's great. I love that one.
Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, one of the douchebaggier.
I will watch it just for Nathan
Green,
Fillion. That man
Lanterns.
has had my heart his entire career. I will watch it just for Nathan Fillion.
And I gotta say, the Lex Luthor in this new movie actually looks really good.
Really?
Looks a lot better than freaking Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
as Lex
that
Luthor.
Was not a good casting
Nathan Holt,
choice.
I think is his name. He's been in a bunch of shit, but yeah, he looks like he's going to be a good Lex Luthor. And we even get Crypto the dog is going to be in this movie. Speaking of like weird, silly shit. He's even got a little cape. It's just like the comic.
Crypto is awesome. Okay, Crypto is awesome.
And in other news, we've got another blast from the past. Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, God.
Which will be coming to Netflix.
We may have to watch it just to
remember
just
the
review
date.
there.
It's not in my... So, yeah, we got our first teaser trailer of Happy Gilmore. It's like... And I think they're even going to be doing a Little Nicky 2 at some point. Like,
really?
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, that would be so great.
I'm glad to see Adam Sandler going kind of... Because he tried to be a serious actor there for a while, and did that Uncut Gems and a bunch of other, like, more serious movies. It's good to see him go back to his, like...
He's a
his bread
comedian,
butter.
and he's funny, and he's always going to be funny, and he needs to stick with that.
Because Happy Gilmore is just one of those classic...
Who doesn't love Happy Gilmore? Come on. And Little Nicky was awesome. I love Little Nicky.
I don't even like golf, and I like
I
Happy
watched
Gilmore.
the shit out of Happy Gilmore, and I can't stand golf.
You're going down, Bob Barker.
The price is wrong, bitch. Oh, anyway.
Oh yeah, so that look for that on your Netflix this summer. And we got a couple of original movies coming out. One from the mind of George R.R. Martin, that whole Game of Thrones guy.
That looks
called
good.
The Lost Lands.
That looks so good. We're gonna have to go see that in theater. I want to see that in theater. That looks so good. And it's not just because I love her, because I do love her.
Yeah, it's like a post-apocalyptic thing where I say a witch and a gunslinger have to travel the wastelands to find some kind of great power. And it's Dave Bautista and
Mila Jovovich. Oh my God, she's so hot.
Like,
I love her.
Witch and a gunslinger.
I love her.
With like some kind of mutant zombie things. Because once you get out of the city, there's a bunch of mutated fuckers out there in the wasteland. It looks good. I'm hit or miss on Dave Bautista. Like sometimes he's like awesome in a movie, and then other times I'm like the guy has like zero range. He can be a little like kind of wooden at times.
He can be kind of one note. Yeah, okay.
Like I love him as Drax in the Guardian series.
Oh hell yes, he's awesome.
But the zombie Vegas heist movie he did was like,
I don't even know if I
so
saw
bad.
that. What was that?
Yeah, it was Army of the Dead. It was.
Did I see that?
I don't know if you did or not, but it was one of those. It kind of looked cool, but him just like
I don't know.
Had like no. The action sequences good, but the acting sequences were like. Homeboy had like just like no. It was one of those where he was a little bit wooden.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hopeful. Like I said, he's not a definite hit, but he has his moments. So I'm hoping this one falls on the
she's awesome
on
in
the
everything
good
she's
side.
in. I have never seen her put in a bad job.
She's definitely been in some bad movies, but it's never her fault.
But it's
She's
never her.
always, like,
She's always
great.
put in a good performance.
And fans of the Reacher series, we're getting, I believe it's in February, season 3 of Reacher, which that has been a great series. It's way better than the Tom Cruise movies. It almost makes me want to track down the books and start reading that book series because, like, and they finally found an actor that makes Reacher look small because he's like a giant of a fucking man, and in this one they got some bodybuilder guy to play one of the villain's henchmen, and it's like, oh damn, this is like finally a fight where Reacher might lose because
that's a big.
It's not often
that is
they
a
find
big
someone
motherfucker.
like bigger than him.
That is a big motherfucker.
It's like we need to find someone that Reacher can.
They can whoop Reacher's ass.
Yeah, because that's a big son of a bitch.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Is this one of those ones where they shot him big, or is this one of the ones where that actor is really that big?
I think that actor is like a 7-foot tall bodybuilder.
God damn.
Yeah, he's like, I can't remember his name, but yeah, he is a giant man. Because Alan Reicht, whoever the guy that plays Reacher, he's a legit big mofo. So yeah, him finding someone to make him look small is that's a special effect in its own. And then we got another Jason Statham movie coming out.
Fuck yes. I love Jason Statham.
The Working Man.
It's sad, too. I have such a type, and it's your fault. Just want to put this out there, but it's your fault.
All right.
The smart, fucking genius motherfuckers that are smartasses. I can't help it. It's my thing. RDJ, fucking Jason Statham, it's the smart motherfuckers, and it's your fault.
And this is kind of reminiscent of The Beekeeper, if anyone saw that movie. That was
what
great...
was the other one of his that I liked so much, with him and his daughter?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
Where he was the small town guy, and his daughter was getting bullied by the meth couple's
Yeah, he was
kid.
like some kind of undercover guy or something, and he kind of retired to like a small town.
Yeah, him and his daughter had retired after his wife died.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what was it? The whole thing was based on, like, meth trafficking in the South.
I do not recall.
I don't know, but...
Yeah, Beekeeper was his kind of more recent action film, and this looks very similar, where he's always former military,
special agent,
spec
former
ops
special
guy,
ops, you know.
And now he's like a foreman on a construction site, and the boss's daughter gets basically kidnapped by human traffickers, and he has to, like, use his military skill. It's basically like Taken, but it's not his daughter, it's someone else's daughter.
Yeah. Jason Statham is the same way. It's that smart. He's not even big. He's not big, but he's smart ass.
What's funny is going back
intelligent
and watching
motherfucker,
some of the,
and that's just my type.
It's so weird going
That is
back and
my
watching
thing.
some of the Guy Ritchie films
And it's your fault.
where he's not an action dude.
Uh-huh.
Like you're watching, like, when does he kick people's asses? No, it's just like a comedic movie.
No,
he's playing,
no, he's gotta
it's
kick
so
people's
weird
asses.
to see him not be.
But he's a
action guy.
bad motherfucker, and it's understated. It's kind of like you. It reminds me of you, because people think you're charming, and they like you immediately, but they don't realize just how bad a motherfucker you are. And I do, because I live with. I know you could take out, half the people in a room, but on your own. But it's like, no, he's so charming and so polite. Everybody loves him. You don't understand. This is a bad motherfucker. You don't get it. I get it.
Thinking how to kill everyone in this room.
This is a bad motherfucker. You don't understand. I go to bed every night with a bad motherfucker.
And then finally, we've got your Friendly Neighborhood Spiderman. Another Marvel animation. But this is from the same team that does X-Men 97, so it's like the old
school
80s,
animation
90s
style,
animation style Peter Parker origin story. And I mean, the trailer's kind of weird because it is that looks like 90s animation, but they've done an excellent job with the X-Men 97 series, so I will definitely give this a shot. It's like that X-Men 97 series. I mean, it goes hard at times.
It was good.
It's like it's got no right to be this good. I mean, it's like this is a cartoon I watched when I was a kid, and they went fucking hard because they're like, everyone who watched this as a kid is now an adult, so we're gonna get like real fucking serious at times. And so I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with this, if you can get past the weird animation style. But it definitely looks like 90s era cartoon
it's
or
not
comic
weird.
books.
It's just not what they expect from animation these days. It's what we expected from animation from our cartoons in the morning.
It's like it's making it look like the cartoons from like the early 90s.
Yeah, it looks like our cartoons back from the day.
Which is kind of shocking when you're used
When
to
you've
that more
seen-
crisp, realistic style of animation that is popular today. Going back to that, I know it's CGI, but they make it look like cell shaded, hand drawn cartoons from the 90s. But yeah, that's all we got for you this week. Check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com. We're also on the ESO Network at esonetwork.com. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Cigar Nerd Pod, and we're on the YouTubes at Cigar Nerd Podcast. Get your shirts at realmensmokecigars.com. Get your energy drinks at strikeforceenergy.com. Promo code Cigar Nerds. And with that, ask yourself the question:
What if?
And this has been a recording of the Cigar Nerd Podcast. We're your hosts, Smokin' Joe and Brad Jackson. Join us next time for more adventures in nerddom.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.